was Halloween yesterday. Trust me, I'm not the Scrooge of Halloween. I just don't enjoy Halloween very much. I think it's because I don't like dressing up. Anyway, here's the story. My house has 2 doors. Why it has 2 doors, I don't know. Trust me, it took a long time for me to take that in as well. And I was just sat on my laptop by one of the doors, and a family knocked on the door. And they obviously shouted trick or treat because it was Halloween. I wasn't going to answer the door because I had nothing to give them, and that would just be rude. But my feet were sticking out, so the little girl who looked through the door could see my feet and was like, "But Dad, I can see his feet." The dad was like, "Oh no, come on, just move on, they don't want to be disturbed." And then this silly little girl goes, "You need to buy some new socks as well." Crazy girl asking for sweets and insulted my socks. And that's not even where it finishes. Because I have 2 doors, as I just said, the little girl moved to the next door and started banging down on that door. Oh my god. I went to my nan's house with Joe because Joe was with me and I had to go to my nan's house. I got in my nan's house and Joe was like, "Oh Will, can I use the stair lift? Wouldn't that be funny?" And I was like, "No Joe, you can't." So I go into my nan's house, give her the paper, whatnot, come back out, and guess what's happening? Joe is going up the stairs on the stair lift, which was apparently an accident. One of those memes are going around Facebook again. You know, the ones I addressed before but no one seemed to have really taken any notice? That one where it's like, "I'm deleting you from my life," and then they have the cool little bar. It's like 99.9%. "Oh no, I can't delete you from my life, you're a good friend. If I get 3 responses back, I'm a good friend as well." A few problems with this no one seems to have brought up. Number 1, why are you trying to delete them as a friend anyway? It's all nice to know that you're a good friend to them. I wouldn't be friends with this person who sent you this message because they were trying to delete you. No one seems to have brought this up. People are just turning a blind eye to it. The other thing, if I get 3 back, I'm a good friend. 3 isn't very good, to be honest, is it? That's 30%. 30% isn't good. 80%, yeah, that's quite good. 70% is like you're an okay friend. 50 is like you've got to do some work. But 30%, that's not good at all. If you get 3 back, I'd be quite disappointed. So here's a tip for you. Next time someone sends you one of those messages saying, "I'm deleting you from my life, but I can't," tell them to go away and then come and be friends with me, if you want. I've compiled myself a short list for October, and this list is the top 10 things ever. That's right, it's not like the top 10 phones or something, it's the top 10 things, in my opinion, ever. This month, just the top 10 things. And the list in no particular order is Scouting for Girls, because their songs are always really nice and upbeat and they're always really happy. Saxophone, because the saxophone is like the coolest instrument ever. I actually have a saxophone but I can't play it. Program Countdown, which I've talked about before, because people just say Countdown's rubbish, but it isn't rubbish, it's actually really good. Yorkie chocolate bars are also on the list, because people just seem to forget about Yorkie chocolate bars, they're just sat there on the shelf. But if you eat them, they're really, really nice. A lot like penguins, but penguins didn't make it onto the list. The programme The Big Bang Theory is also on the list, because I'm loving that at the moment. Nachos are on the list. Card is on the list. I mean, like card, like you get paper, which is okay, and then you get card, which is like paper, but card, and it's a mix between cardboard and paper. If you get a piece of card as a sheet or something in school, it's like the most amazing thing ever compared to paper, because paper's just mediocre. But card is awesome. James Morrison made it onto the list. I'm not a massive fan of James Morrison, but I thought he could make it onto this month's list. Well done, James Morrison. Okay, here's one I really like. This definitely makes it onto the list. Apple squash. This represents apple squash. And fizzy water. Now, apple juice is nice, and then they made apple squash. Apple squash is just amazing. And then if you get fizzy water, which is disgusting on its own, and put it with the apple squash, it is the most amazing concoction you could ever drink. Trust me, I live by this stuff. If you just go and try it, you will not regret it. Finally, number 10 on the list, even though the list is in no particular order, Duracell batteries. Not just any batteries, Duracell batteries. Because when you go to the shop, because you need more batteries, you look at the whole, they have like the whole list of batteries you can get. There's like Panasonic, and then the cheap own brand ones. Duracell is by far the best. Do you know what I mean? Because like, when you hold a Duracell battery, I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling, it's like, yeah, Duracell battery. When you hold a little Panasonic one, it's just like, it's not the same. So that was my 10 best things ever. If you thought there was something on the list which shouldn't be on the list, or there was something that wasn't on the list which should be on the list, tell me in the comments or on Facebook or wherever you want, and maybe next month I will put your thing in the list, depending on how list worthy it is. Or you can even compile your own list if you are as sad as me. So that's the end of today's video. Hopefully I will see you again soon sometime, or maybe not. Bye!
Remember the time when